Is the VIBORA your best shot? Are you looking for an all-round racket that balances power and control? Well, RACKET has released 5 new speed rackets claiming to be the ideal choice for all-round players. But is that true? Actually, 2 of the new speed rackets only have 1 hole, so are they worth it? Actually, we'll compare them in smashes and drop shots, but first, hello all players, I'm Pablo and I welcome you to a new 4Set. Ari Sanchez, the world's #1 player, uses the speed motion. But when we think about Ari's playing style, it's quite different from Arturo Coelho's, for example. Arturo is pure power, while Ari is more a control-oriented player who accelerates the ball at just the right moment. And that's exactly the focus of the new speed series. Arturo's extreme racket has a diamond shape, but the speed rackets are hybrid shape. However, the speed rackets also have a high balance, so the focus is 60% power and 40% control, unlike the extreme, which is 100% power focused. But first, let's break down the technical specs of each of the 5 new speed rackets, starting with the heaviest and most advanced, the Speed Pro. With a weight between 360 and 380 grams, this racket is not for everyone. It combines carbon fiber and fiberglass, so what you see as the design is essentially a decal. But this mix of carbon and fiberglass gives the racket a stiff feel without losing all its ball output. And this means theoretically that you can generate more power with less effort. The Speed Pro, along with the other 4 versions, features the power foam rubber and the soft back cap at the end of the grip to reduce vibrations. Comparing the Speed Pro with Ari Sanchez's Speed Motion, the only difference is the weight, because the Motion is 15 grams lighter but maintains the same 27 cm balance. And all the speed rackets have the same grip length, 12.5 cm. The Speed Team is the only one of the 5 made entirely of fiberglass. Actually, it's the racket with the most ball output and the most comfortable of the lineup, and it also has the lowest balance of 26.5 cm. The Pro, Motion and Team lack any rough texture, but the whole pattern has changed compared to the previous speed versions. If you pay attention, the space between the holes in the upper part of the racket has increased, theoretically improving the smash response. But the rackets that do have roughness are the new Speed 1X and the Speed 1. These are the 2 new versions of RACKET single holes racket, following the Extreme 1 and the 1 Ultralight. One advantage of the Speed 1 is the roughness, which I find better compared to the Extreme 1, even though it's still a 3-degree roughness, but now comes in a dotted pattern. At the end of the video, I'll do a drop shot challenge between the Speed 1X and the Speed Pro to see which performs better. But what is the difference between the 2 single hole speed rackets? Well, the only difference is the weight, because the Speed 1X, being the heavier one at 365 grams, 20 more than the Speed 1. It is true that until now, all of RACKET's single-hole rackets were lightweight models like this one, weighing 345 grams or less. But the Speed 1X is the first single-hole racket with a standard weight, and that changed everything. However, the purpose of Speed 1s remains unchanged, because that is to create an unbreakable racket with the largest sweet spot possible. And that is true because the response of this racket is almost identical no matter where you hit. Both Speed 1 rackets are made entirely of carbon fiber to keep them as light as possible, given they lack holes. The 1X and the Pro version are the only models that include a vibration dampener in the bridge. But now an really important question. How hard are the new speed rackets? Well, let's judge by their sound. Speed 1X, Speed 1, Speed Team, Speed Motion, and the last one, Speed Pro. The difference between the Speed Pro and the Speed 1, for example, is quite noticeable, even though they share the same foam. And obviously, another key question: what are the prices of the new speed rackets? Well, if you use the code 4Set at Padel Market, you will get a 10% discount and support the channel, but prices range from 300 euros from the Speed 1X to 200 for the Speed team. Alright Pablo, but how do the new Speed rackets perform on the court? Well, let's start with the defense, where there are many differences. The Speed Pro is the less agile due to its weight, so that can be a problem. Actually, I didn't feel too comfortable defending with it when the ball came at me quickly. But it is true that when you make solid contact with the ball, it offers the best feel, but honestly, I prefer the Motion because it's lighter and has the same touch. Those 15 grams less in the Motion make a big difference. However, both the Pro and the Motion are stiff rackets that demand good technique. The team is the most forgiving racket in this aspect, with the most ball output and the lowest balance of the 5 at 26.5 centimeters. And regarding the one rackets, I have mixed feelings. The lightweight one lets you move the racket faster than any other, but it lacks power. When I tried to add speed to my shots, it felt like the racket absorbed the ball. The heavier Speed 1X corrects this and gives a better feel on defense. So for me, the best speed for defense is the team, followed by the Speed 1X. But the head speed's goal is to help all-round players attack quickly with volleys and VIBORAs. So how do the Speed rackets perform in volleys? Well, the lightweight Speed 1 had the same issue, it couldn't generate enough speed in my volleys. The heavier Speed 1X performed better, moving well, and the rough texture was noticeable enough to not miss having holes. But my favorite was the Motion, and it allows me to move the racket quickly while maintaining a firm feel. Because for me, the Pro felt too heavy and the team was too soft. But keep in mind that I tested the new Speed rackets in cold Madrid weather, so the balls were not moving easily. And actually I had similar impressions with the Bandeja and the VIBORA. I didn't feel the need for more power in these shots with the Motion. However, it is true that I wish it had a rough texture to make adding speed easier. And here the Speed 1's that roughness was a plus, making it feel like a racket with holes during VIBORAs, and if you don't believe me, listen to it. But the Pro is no doubt the best performing racket when you make perfect contact. But at the same time, the effort required to move it well was too much for me, so I preferred the Motion. And watch out, because the team performed very well too, because in fact I achieved the highest speed on VIBORAs with the team, though I lost a bit of control due to its extra ball output. But Pablo, what about these smashes with the new head speeds? I did 5 smashes with each racket to calculate the average distance achieved. The worst performing racket was the lightweight Speed 1, and it's the less powerful of all 5. The differences between the other 4 were small, but for my playing style, the Motion was the winner. Being able to swing faster consistently allowed me to generate more power. Also, when I made perfect contact with the Pro, it delivered the best results. However, after 80 minutes of play, you won't feel the same as the start of the match, and the Motion's 15-gram difference can be crucial. Finally, I tested the Pro against the 1X in a drop shot duel, and honestly, I barely noticed a difference. The dotted roughness on the 1X is excellent, in my opinion, better than the other single-hole head models. It almost feels like using a racket with holes like the Pro. But now, Pablo, who is each racket for? Well, the Speed Pro is perfect if you compete like heavy, stiff rackets with a high balance, and the VIBORA is your best shot. The Speed Motion is the lighter version of the Pro, offering more swing speed and better physical endurance. The Speed Team is the most comfortable, ideal if you want a hybrid racket that excels in both attack and defense. The Speed 1X is nearly unbreakable, perfect for players prioritizing a massive sweet spot and offering a relatively high weight of 365 grams for the first time. And the Speed 1 is the lightweight version designed to reduce physical fatigue during matches. These are the 5 new head speed rackets, so do you have any other question? Leave it in the comments, and thank you so much for watching the video. See you in the next one. Ciao!